So one of the big core pieces of our tinctures is for most of our tinctures, we use fresh plant material, which is really hard to do on a large scale. So if you're buying a tincture off the shelf at Whole Foods or whatever, it's most likely made with dried, and it's most likely made with like farmed.
Oh, okay.
Like dried, farmed, very more like industrial processing. That's not always true, but it tends to be true. And the more steps that you put in between where the plant was grown and how it gets to you, your house, it feels to me like there's more time for like the tincture to lose its like vitality and spirit that makes it so effective. So when you're using dried herbs, that's one way. Not only are fresh herbs more effective, most herbs are more effective fresh. I won't say all, but most, because they have constituents in their water parts, the parts of them that are water and liquid, that evaporate off when they dry. So it just makes it a little bit more potent, a little bit more well-rounded, a little bit more effective. And then when you dry a herb, you lose some of those parts. So that's a piece. Also, mass scale farming of herbs, you lose a little bit of the heart when you don't have people that are like, of course we use farmed herbs, but we use herbs from very, very, very small farmers who are like lovingly know every single plant on their field. You know what I mean? Or we wildcraft herbs are herbs, which there's a concept in traditional Chinese medicine called Di Dao, which is when herbs are grown in their native wild growing conditions, they are the most potent and powerful, and they have the strongest vitality. And so they work better than herbs that have just been like farmed in a sterile field. So those are some of the way we really maximize every process that we possibly can when it comes to like keeping the heart and vitality of the herb before it gets to you. We also hand process everything by hand. It's all handcrafted. We use very little like machinery, or when we do, it's not like it's not like it's a system line, where you have people with gloves just loading things into stainless steel drums and goggles, and that takes all of the life out of it.
Yeah.
And like, of course we wear gloves, but you know what I mean? Like there's still people that are like handcrafting with reverence, working with the plant medicine, not treating it just like a resource, or, you know what I mean? Like another constituent. And so I think that matters. I think from what I've noticed and like from my experience with using, and from feedback that I hear from people who are like, yeah, I bought the same tincture at Whole Foods on the shelf as you sell, and like, why does the Whole Food one suck? And I think it's that loss of vitality, that loss of care and preparation. But also like on the other end, like when it's a blend, like Rooted Relief versus like a single herb tincture, formulation plays a really big part in like how well it works. And I'll tell you right now, like a lot of tincture blends that I see on the market, I can tell almost instantly that they have been formulated by like someone a chemist in a warehouse, and not an herbalist. So you start to like, the more you'll start to know if you look, when I look at things with my herbalist brain, I start to notice things like that. And I'm like, oh, so that's another way to lose heart or get more efficacy is through formulation,